We're talking about something that would be on so many minds. It was a news story last week, and of course, we're chatting about a potential class action suit relating to the recent and tragic OC Transpo bus crash. And I know, David, you have significant experience because you represented a dozen or more clients who were involved in the OC Transpo and Via crash back in 2013. You already have a couple of clients who were affected and are trying to sort through this. I think what you want to do is really focus on accident benefits and where attention should go at this time.
Yeah, right, Leanne. I mean, it's an unthinkable tragedy, and it's amazing we were dealing with two similar situations in a fairly recent span of time. And I have been approached, people ask me, what is a class action? And I hear there's a class action. And, you know, we can talk about that. But really what is important right now is getting people what they need. I mean, there are care. There are, you know, and you mentioned accident benefits. So if you're injured in a collision like this, if you have your own automobile insurance, you go to your own automobile insurer, even if you're on the bus, and you open an accident benefits file, and let's get folks what they need. I mean, whether it's wheelchairs, ramps, crutches, physiotherapy, psychological services, not just for the individual who was in the crash, but also for their family members. They can also open a claim. And if you don't have your own auto policy, you can apply to the OC Transpo, and they will open an accident benefits file with you. And so, you know, we want to get these open right away. We want to get people the care they need, whether it's a personal support worker, whether it's income replacement benefits. There are so many important things right now that people need today. And, you know, you contact somebody today, we get the forms filled out, and there's a rehab team that's going to be in to see you, you know, 24 hours, 48 hours. So that's really what's most important right now for these folks, is to get the support.
And you say that class action, that's something that's down the road. It's immediate care, immediate needs for families and for anyone who was a victim or who actually did sustain an injury.
Right, that's right. And so the class action, that's kind of the lawsuit. And I mean, it doesn't have to be a class action. In the OC Via crash of a few years ago, there was no class action, and there currently is no class action. There's talk of a class action, but it's a cumbersome legal process where a court has to certify that this should be a class action, and that's the best way for this matter to proceed. And there are already a number of people who have come out and said, even if there is a class action, they're opting out. We know that the City of Ottawa is likely going to be the defendant, whether it's the bus's error, or whether it's driver error, or whether it's the overhang that was the problem, whether there was ice in the road. Everything points to the City of Ottawa as being the defendant. So you can have, you know, the class action may or may not be the most appropriate situation here to get everybody the individual compensation that they're entitled to from the city or the city's insurance company.
We heard a variety of stories last week about the fact that many claims still had not been settled from 2013.
Right.
You're more in the know than I am, or many of our viewers.
Right.
What is, I know it does take a long time to settle a legal claim, but what do you know?
Well, I mean, as it relates to those, I mean, the dozen or so that I had have all resolved and favorably, and but in some cases, just if the injuries are complicated or the future care needs are so complicated that you don't know what the needs are going to be going into the future, maybe it's premature for those cases to resolve, or maybe it's just the individual is not prepared to settle for what the city is offering, or the VIA is offering. I'm not sure why, but those are some of the things that cause cases to delay.
Well, there are people who are grieving. There are people who are still in shock. And when you're in a state of shock, you're not thinking clearly, and you actually sometimes just don't know where to turn. So first advice that just to recap, you're saying if you have auto insurance, approach your insurance company first and foremost.
Absolutely. I mean, if you have work insurance, you know, government employees often have Sun Life and things like that, but you also apply to your own automobile insurance. And if you don't have automobile insurance or access to it, apply to OC Transpo for accident benefits, and they will start paying you for things like medications, crutches, and therapies and things like that. And this should start right away.
And there would be so many families who suddenly need round-the-care nursing.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
there's caregiver fatigue and all the rest of it.